What's up, guys? Joshua here with Eric with some exciting casting news. It's all but confirmed by Marvel. Deadline reported that Krysten Ritter of Breaking Bad fame was cast as Jessica Jones in the upcoming Jessica Jones Netflix series that Marvel's having.
Yeah, you know, look, we'd heard that there was down to her and like 4 other actresses. And so Deadline says she got the part. Deadline's, very good on this sort of stuff, so we think it's true.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I'm pretty excited. You know, if you notice any hesitation there, I will say, to get that out of the way, it's just that I think it's because Krysten Ritter, you have to believe in the backstory of this character. She once was a superhero, and Krysten Ritter just, she's not like body type wise like what you'd imagine as a superhero. But I will say, the attitude, which is so key for Jessica Jones, I think she's a really good choice because, Jessica Jones is kind of, she's got this sort of traumatized background, but she's very cynical.
Very dark past.
Very dark, very different. I mean, I will once again say I know she's the most sort of obscure character they're giving a TV show to. If you can read Alias, you should, because it's an awesome comic.
It's one of the best comics I've ever read, and I've read a lot of comic books.
It's great. But the character, she's like cynical and has this sort of edge to her, and I think Krysten Ritter, can definitely bring that. I mean, we know her from she did like Don't Trust the Bee and Veronica Mars and
Don't Trust the Bee. I actually really like that.
Hey, and Don't Trust the Bee, especially though, it's like she was like that sort of like sarcastic presence, and I actually think that kind of attitude will work really well for Jessica.
Yeah, because she's a very dark character, like you're saying, but the Marvel tone is one with a lot of humor. So even though this is their Marvel Knights, their street level, a little darker like set of heroes, like the Defenders that we're getting. I feel like it was probably very important to them that she had great comedic timing, and she totally does.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Like, they wanted someone who could deliver those quips, and here I think they'll be a little more sort of like sarcastic and barbs at people, and I think she's a really good choice for that. So yeah, I think maybe the flashbacks as far as like if they put her in the Jewel costume. Look, anyone can do a little training and she get a little muscle tone on her, and I think they'll be fine because that's what Hollywood has the money for. I think Krysten Ritter is a really good choice for the attitude you want for Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I feel like I'm right on board with you. That when I first heard it, I was a little like, wait, what's that? The druggy girlfriend from Breaking Bad?
Right.
Like that her? But no, she totally. If the physicality was there, that wasn't quite on board. But if she could do some push-ups, then she'll be great.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to be. Most of the show she's a PI who's she doesn't have to look like she's ready to go out and fight.
Totally. But before we go, I just want to ask, Jessica Jones is like intimately tied to Luke Cage.
Very intimately tied.
Yes. Well, they eventually get married in the comics. Spoiler. But he's getting his own Marvel Netflix series, but he's also going to be a big part of Jessica Jones series. What's the casting news on him?
Well, so they said that Mike Coulter, who is kind of very present right now for IGN readers, probably because he's the star of Halo Nightfall.
Yeah,
but he's
doing a good job in that,
and he works a ton on The Good Wife, on The Following, on Ringer. So guy's done a ton of TV work. They say that he is almost a lock now for Luke Cage. And they actually said, and this is important, especially because I guess he'll be in about 6 or 7 of the 13 Jessica Jones episodes, and then he has his own show, and then they'll be in The Defenders together. A big deal was the chemistry reading, and they often do this when they're casting 2 characters at the same time. They know whether it's brother and sister or, lovers, like they want to have actors that
or
work
brothers
well.
and sisters who are lovers, like in Game of Thrones.
Like Game of Thrones. But you want to have actors that really like have that, good chemistry together on screen. And they said that the 2 of them, that was a really big deal, was Krysten Ritter and Mike Coulter, that they seem to have really good chemistry together, that everyone at Marvel and Netflix were really happy with that. So it's not like, it doesn't sound like he's quite as locked in as she is, but it sounds very close. And yeah, I mean, I think, look, he obviously looks the part. I think it sounds like, and we weren't privy to those, we weren't sitting in there unfortunately with them, but if everyone seemed really happy with it, Marvel's really good at casting. I am very optimistic about that, and I have a feeling that'll be really cool to see the 2 of them together. Once again, read Alias, and you'll see that, even that relationship and how it's depicted. It's really different and really cool.
It's very cool, very cool. So those are our thoughts on the casting and then almost casting of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And let us know what you think of the comics and comments.
But in the comics,
But in the comics, let us know what you think of the comments. But don't call me out on what I just said. And for all things Marvel, keep it locked right here to IGN.